lesson 4. This is titled Idea Development. This time we're going to actually put some skills to test. Basically, we've looked at what qualifications are in the area, what jobs are in the area, what sectors in the area. Now, one of the things that you did on your knowledge organiser was actually look into the skills needed per job. So we're going to spend a couple of lessons now just concentrating on the skills, and we're going to do this through doing a little project with Teen Tech, which is actually a national competition that Miss Stewart runs, who's head of IT, if you want to talk to Miss or talk to the IT teacher to find out more about it. So to start us off, we're going to look at Teen Tech and understand what Teen Tech is as a competition. Then you'll see as we go through, we look at the Teen Tech sectors, and they're pretty similar to the industry sectors you've looked into for jobs, and you're going to need to research those areas, so we're going to put those two skills together. And then finally in the blue square, we're looking at you making a decision of which Teen Tech sector is of interest to you and what your project idea is going to be. So the skills area we're looking at are very much decision making, research, and if you look over in the red, we're also looking at employability skills as well. Now down the bottom you'll see a different profile of jobs. These are going to change with each lesson. If you want to find out more about them, then obviously look them up, and guess where? Look them up in Start Profile. So that you're crystal clear, here's the list of tasks that you need to do for this lesson. You need to review and discuss your completed knowledge organiser, or make sure it is completed. You need to update your skills learning lorries on page 3. And then we're looking at our new task, which is the Teen Tech fact file and the Teen Tech mind map, which is obviously around page 10 and onwards. So here's the review of the knowledge organiser, which hopefully you've completed for your homework. The blue section, let's investigate what jobs you found in your area. And then underneath it's the yellow question, we're looking at who offers these jobs. So let's find out about the different companies you've discovered. And then it's the question that we all like to look for over there on the right, it's the salaries question. So let's have a look at what salaries each of these jobs offers that you found out. As mentioned, the comment about skills for today's lesson. So here we're going to look at some of the skills you found in these jobs. So these should be things like patience, attention to detail, good communication. These are all the words we need to hear from the jobs that you found, because these are the words we're going to be looking into more when we do the Teen Tech project. And now we're coming up to the big questions, the purple one here, the purple section in the middle. What qualifications do you need for this particular job? Now remember that we don't just write down a level 3 or degree, we actually have to name the specific subject area or the specific title of what the qualification is. Fantastic, we're now on the last question for our first knowledge organiser. You've looked at the skills and the jobs, we now need to know the qualifications and where to get them. So the all important question, because that's what the decision you're going to be making in a couple of years' time when you're looking at your decisions at year 11, where do you go locally? Right, now we've sorted out the first knowledge organiser, which was for you. We now need to deal with the knowledge organiser that you've written on behalf of your friend. And if you remember, Kermit's best friend is... Yep, you've guessed it, it's Miss Piggy. So now we're going to look at the second knowledge organiser, and this time round we're looking at the friend's knowledge organiser for the information you've got on your second one. So let's go through these questions again. This time we're reviewing them on behalf of your friend. So the first two, let's look at which jobs and which skills you've discussed for your friend. Now for this particular friend, then they are going to want to be told who is offering the jobs, so which companies did you find these jobs in, and the most important question for this particular character is how much is the possible earnings, what's the salary that you found. And the final two questions for your friend's knowledge organiser is what qualifications are needed for the jobs that you recommended, and how would your friend get these qualifications, where would they need to go? So those are the ones we need to be reviewing. Right, soft skills. You've actually been writing them down on your knowledge organiser, so let's have a think of what we've discussed. So go back and have a look at the skills section in the knowledge organiser and see how many of the words you've got there actually match some of the employability skills that have popped up now for you to review. Make sure you know what each of the skills mean and make sure you know why they are important and which do you think are the most and least important of employability skills, particularly related to one of the jobs that you've written down on your knowledge organiser. A quick update on the booklets. Please make sure you go back to the Learning Journey Skills Lorries and do some updates on what you found out so far on, guess what, the knowledge organiser. Right, we've done our review of the knowledge organiser and it set us up quite nicely to go into the Teen Tech competition, the Teen Tech project. So first of all, what is Teen Tech? It comes from Maggie Philbin and Chris Dodson, who are an award-winning charity, and it came in 2008, and it's here to help you look at the wide range of career possibilities in STEM, science, technology and engineering. And even if STEM is not for you, then what we're looking at in our project on our careers lessons is actually a project development process, which is something very much used in all types of businesses. So let's have a look on our next slide of how we're going to use this Teen Tech to help our careers decisions. Well, first of all, you're going to investigate the Teen Tech sectors. You're going to do this by using the link on the slide, or you need to type it in on Google, and then you can start to see the Teen Tech sectors. And here you'll see some similarities between this competition and the industry sectors that you've looked into. Your job is to complete the table. Now you complete the table in columns. So first of all, right in the headings, you need to actually select 3 categories, 3 sectors. Now, hopefully you can select them from the Teen Tech categories or sectors. And then what you do is you can have a read around on their website to look at what they mean by those areas, or find out something completely unusual about it by using some internet research, but make sure that it's quite an unusual fact that you find or something that's interesting, and explain why it's interesting to you. And we're looking for the maximum of 5 facts for each of the categories that you selected so that you've completed your table. There are 11 different categories to choose from, so there should be enough for everybody. Well, that took your research skills, your selecting skills, your making sure that you've got reasonable facts, good, interesting facts in order to share with people. Now it's time for you to make a decision. It's time for you to think of an area that you want to investigate a bit further and actually come up with an invention or an idea, something as wild and wacky as you can think of. So you need to select an area that you want to explore a bit further. And we're going to go on to some mind maps on some ideas in our next activity. Now you've chosen your idea, we need to develop the idea, and a good way of developing an idea is to use a mind map, which is what we're going to do. So on your mind map you need to answer these 4 or 5 questions that are in front of you from Miss Piggy, and if you go any further with the mind map, then that's even better. If the mind map process helps you come up with more and more ideas, that's even more better. So first of all, in your sector you need to think of an idea, an invention. Perhaps a good place to start is a problem. Think of a problem in that particular sector that you could possibly solve with an invention. Then on question 2, think about how your product or service, your invention, helps people. Then think about number 3, who does it help? And then think about number 4, how does it work? And then number 5, any other ideas that possibly come your way as you're doing this mind map. Now, the idea and the problem that you're trying to solve might take a bit of thinking to start off with, so go back to your research. It might be that you come up with one idea and it didn't work, so you go on to the second idea. It's fine, that's the whole idea of a mind map. Here are some mind map templates for you to use. These are all available to you in the student drive under lesson 4 mind map template homework, and you can select any one of those as many as you want, depending on how many ideas you use to start off with. And if it's not done, or we start this at the end of the lesson, then guess what, it's got the homework word involved. That's what is expected for the next lesson. We've reached the end of the lesson, so make sure you update your work plan. Go down to where we're looking at teen tech ideas and sectors. So write down a little note of your conversation with your friend, the date you've done it, give it a bit of a tick to show that you're progressing through the project. That's it, you've done lesson 4. Well done. But a big leap into the world of skills, and we should be moving our way to our own little mini competition as well as the Teen Tech competition. I'll explain more in our next lesson.